What's up, everybody? I'm here at Swallow Aquatics, a huge, incredible pet store in the UK, and I'm going to do something I'm going to regret because it's cold and I'm going swimming with some sliders. So cool to see these baby turtles for sale. And you know, we have a hat available in our merchandise store that says make baby turtles legal again, because in the United States it is illegal to sell baby turtles. Now, think what you want about the rule, and I'm not, you know, I don't necessarily just love the sale of turtles in itself. However, what happens is, because we can't sell baby turtles, the niche for turtle sales in America falls to wild caught animals, and that's certainly not what we want, and that's worse than selling baby turtles. So it's amazing to see a pet shop that's openly selling baby turtles like this, and that's just the way it is here. And wow, I get to see a familiar American species. The amount of live plants that are here for sale is really great to see. It's indicative of the type of husbandry that's being kind of suggested here at this amazing pet store. I love using live plants whenever I can, and it's easy with species like small species like Geomitis spangleri, the leaf turtles that you see that we keep and that I breed. But with any species that you can, even some of the larger turtles might want to trample plants, that sort of thing, but it's still great to utilize them where you can. Maybe you keep the pot around the base of the plant where animals like to dig in and can kind of kill plants that way. The point is, using plants is the right thing to do because it provides natural security for the animals. It's a great place to hide for little invertebrates and things that you might use if you were creating a bioactive habitat. And also, most importantly, it really helps retain moisture within the substrate, which is such an important piece of keeping a lot of species happy and healthy. This is really cool. Here's something you don't see every day. An amazing, beautiful, huge tank. I don't know how many gallons, or we would ask how many liters this tank is here in the UK. Dedicated to red-bellied piranhas. And I'm sitting here checking them out, and the piranha are coming kind of at me. They kind of go side to side because, you know, it's a fish tank and it's longer than it is wide, of course, but every once in a while they just turn and look at me and come towards me as I'm filming them. I'm like, okay, you guys are pretty gangster. Some pretty gangster fish, and they hang out in groups. So the thing of nightmares for some, but not for me. This is a thing of dreams. So cool.
You're the same size as her.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you have a better shot at grabbing this turtle.
I don't know if I can. Yeah, that's tough to even stop. I can live there, but... Oh, gosh.
That was a high five of a century.
You think he's peeing on me?
Yes. No, it's good. What is it, Peter? Is it a male?
Oh. A male Nile softshell. This is the largest softshell turtle I've ever held in my life. Wow, what a beast. Peter Prashog, probably the world's most knowledgeable turtle generalist, is here, and I mean that he knows pretty much everything there is to know about all turtles. Ow, that one hurt. He says this is a male. I can't look because it's too heavy. Oh, jeez. I've only got another couple seconds in me here because he's scratching my hand. This turtle just kicked my butt. This is a Nile softshell turtle, and wow, I've seen them before, always pretty small. This is the largest one. And in fact, this is the largest softshell turtle that I've ever handled. And what happens is, if you do it the right way, usually with common snapping turtles and also large softshell turtles, you're going to get scratched. That's just the way it is. And the reason for that is because you don't want to get bitten. You have to decide, do you want to be bit or do you want to get scratched? And I always choose scratch. So if I had the choice between having this scratch or not having this scratch, I choose to have it because I didn't want to get bit, but also because it's a pretty darn cool souvenir to take home with me to America. And I'm going to look down at this a week or two from now and still see little remnants of that cut that huge softshell turtle gave me. And I'm going to remember what was an incredible experience that I'm going to remember for a really long time. What an amazing species. And what an amazing facility. This is a pet store. You've got to be kidding me. And they've got this massive greenhouse. If you had just this greenhouse, imagine what you could do with turtles. And they have turtles back here in this greenhouse, including this amazing setup here that has a natural filtration that uses plants to clean the water. And you see the water that these musk turtles here are living in is completely crystal clear. And that's because they're using this bog filtration system that they have all these amazing plants that benefit from the greenhouse temperatures and light, and then from the water that has the waste from the turtles and fish coming up to feed it a whole bunch of nutrients. What an amazing kind of symbiotic ecosystem living here within this system. It's incredible to see. This is next level and something you literally never see in a pet shop. So this system is great, and these animals are happy. Now, one of the things I notice in here is this older adult stinkpot musk turtle, eastern musk turtle, common musk turtle, all the same turtle. And that's why we use scientific terms to describe, scientific names to describe our species, like Sternithoris odoratus, which is what this turtle is. And it's very interesting because it's got a furry back. What is that about? Well, you may have noticed turtles, whether in captivity and especially in the wild, that have algae on their shells. That is something that a very good friend of mine, Patrick Baker, who is a college professor, has actually done extensive research on. So you can check out his research to see what turtles have algae on their shells, which ones don't, and then testing that algae to see what it is. And he's found all sorts of interesting things related to algae on turtle shells. So something that we see that sometimes looks kind of cool and that we may not really think much about, there's actually a whole world of scientific discovery happening around turtles and their relationship with algae, particularly on their shells. Right now, my friends and I are walking to a large pond that houses red-eared sliders, and it looks like we've arrived. Ow! I'm in a nettle bush right now. It hurts. Can do it, baby. Woo! This water's so cold. I brought a change of clothes, Mom. Stop yelling at me. This pond is home to dozens, maybe even hundreds of slider turtles. And you may think, all right, this looks a little small for them, but here's the deal. Dylan, the amazing person who runs this incredible pet store, the most incredible pet store I've ever seen in my life, is not able to get another permit. But it's important that he has a permit for these sliders because there's nowhere for them to go. They've been outlawed here since the 90s, and this gives them a place where they can live natural, relatively natural lives outdoors like they should. And that's exactly what's happening here. Now, I've been told, in addition to a whole bunch of red-eared sliders and yellow-bellied sliders, which are the same species but are two different subspecies, there are integrades, which is what we call hybrids between two subspecies, and there are some different species in here as well, totally different species, like not sliders. So I got real excited, and I thought, all right, I should go in there. It's cold. It's so cold that it hurts. But here I am. So I'm going to take the mic off and take my hoodie off, and I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to go swimming. And it's going to hurt, but I'm going to do it because I came here for experiences, And that's what I'm gonna do. I have food for you. I need you to get used to the water. It's so cold. Oh.
They're scattering.
Oh.
Oh, you got one.
Got one.
That's a slider. This looks like it might be intergrade, mostly yellow belly, but definitely some red ear influence. And this happens a lot. I'm screaming now because I'm not on microphone. You don't you dare. I'm a friend. This happens a lot, actually, in places where yellow belly sliders are native. So where the yellow belly slider naturally lives, because red ear sliders are so prevalent and they get released all over the world, that's an issue, right? They could be invasive. They certainly survive places they shouldn't, including here. Hello. But the main issue is, for where the yellow belly lives, that means that the pure yellow belly is becoming a thing of the past. So there is some fear that we just won't see yellow belly sliders anymore because red ears are just going to breed them out of existence. Rascal. You got a cooter.
Oh, okay.
Yes! A cooter!
I got you. I got
That thing
him.
just scratched me on the softshell scratch. This is a cooter turtle, the genus Pseudemes, and this is like a slider. They actually used to be considered a part of the same genus as sliders before they were split a couple decades ago. And this is another American species that is very adaptable and very cold tolerant, and even more of a vegetarian. So you can't really grow a lot of water plants in a pond that has sliders, but it's even tougher to do so in a pond that has cooters. And these guys get huge. They're not great pets. Sometimes you'll see them for sale for cheap because they're very fecund. They lay lots of eggs and they produce lots of babies, but that does not make them a good pet. And it's cold in here. It's really cold in here. It hurts. This is like painful how cold this water is. But this turtle right now is covered in mud, even after swimming through the water. And that's because all this mud that's squishing between my toes right now, that's where they hide. That's where they spend their time when it's cold. It gives them a place to just kind of hang out. It's colder, so their heart rate has been reduced. And they just kind of sit there and do their thing and wait out the cold weather for months until it starts to get warmer. Now, when the sun comes out, they still will come up and bask and do their thing, but they're certainly not doing as much eating, as much moving around, and as much basking when it's cold and overcast like you see right now.
How bad would you like to see more of them?
What do you mean? Oh! You think they're gonna come up?
Good help.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Leone, America and the UK's turtle heartthrob, just threw some turtle pellets in here to try to get the turtles coming. I don't know, man. How often do they have a water buffalo in their habitat? We'll see. Food versus fear. Which one wins? I love you. Come get some pellets. One last thing before I get out of here and change into warm clothes. Having a really special place for turtles to live like this is not something that is crazy expensive to provide, providing you have the space to do it. This is cinder block and concrete, relatively, or mortar, relatively inexpensive materials, and then you see they've used these bars here along the edge, the top of a pond liner, which is then stretched and bolted to the concrete. That's terrific. That pond liner is waterproof. It's nice and thick. It does provide for slippery walking for the humans that enter the habitat, but outside of that, it works really well. It can be tough for some turtles that aren't the best swimmers to get their traction, just like it's been tough for me to get my traction, but it does work really well. This habitat was incredible. Now, this is the reality for all these sliders that don't have homes. So if you're out there thinking what's best for you, just because a small cooter or a small slider seems like a great pet, it's not, because it's gonna become big and it's gonna need to live somewhere like this. So unless you can provide something like this, I urge you not to work with those species. Do your research, take your time, and find a species that does much better in captivity and won't lead to a bunch of green water in the aquarium in your dining room and have you having a bad experience that leads to you not being a turtle person anymore. We want you to be one of us, and in order to do that, you have to make good decisions and make decisions for the long haul. Well, now I'm walking around barefoot because I was just swimming in the pond out here. One of the things I noticed when you look at the prefab ponds and the driftwood and the plants and the rocks and the aquatic plants, everything that you see here is that they're not selling you what they think will sell. They're selling you what the animal needs. And I can just see that just from walking around. These are people that are educating the public on what's right for animals in captivity. And that's so important. Yes, I know it's a business. Yes, I know there's a bottom line, but when you could do it to this extent and even have ambassador animals here to educate people, this is the most incredible pet store I have ever seen. It is huge. It's the size of a Walmart, and it's got this huge outdoor area that's just acres and acres. Wow. That is the only word to describe it. Wow. I can't believe they're selling these here. This is my favorite animal. Someone on the channel recently commented, what's your favorite animal to see at a zoo? Your favorite animal besides a turtle? And I had to think about it, right? There's so many amazing animals in the animal kingdom that you could choose from. For me, the answer I came up with is a sturgeon. These amazing armored monsters of the deep, and they're freshwater and they grow up to 4, 5, 6 meters in length. Ridiculousness, right? Who wouldn't love them? And not only that, they're like the turtles. They're like the giant turtles of the fish world because they're completely prehistoric. They've been the same, virtually unchanged, just like turtles for hundreds of millions of years. And I've never seen one for sale as a pet. That's crazy to see. And they have them here. This indoor setup here within the actual pet store is really impressive. We've got a whole myriad of different species here. Again, I still have my shoes off. I'm going to get kicked out for not wearing shoes inside. But in addition to having a caiman in here, there's also a variety of sliders, of course, yellow belly and red ear, and of course intergrades, mixes of the two. I also was able to see a map turtle look like a Mississippi map or false map, Pseudemys pseudogeographica. And then also I saw a Chinese golden thread turtle or Chinese striped neck turtle, which is Moremys sinensis. And that's a species that is not outlawed like the red ear here, but has just been found in the wild, and also is a species that can definitely survive here because they're very cold tolerant. Keep that in mind. Here's a familiar face. Maybe, well, not mine, but right there, a couple of common snapping turtles, Calydra serpentina. Species that live where I live, and here they are for sale across the pond. Not the best pet species, but I know they're educating people about that here, which is nice. This is a species that could survive in a fish pond here pretty well, so that's interesting. Here are some baby stinkpots, eastern musk turtles, common musk turtles. We just saw some adults outside with that amazing kind of ecosystem that they created with the water trickling through the plants. These are the babies. And for almost every reason, this is a great thing to see. These are baby turtles being sold by a place that educates people wonderfully. And also, it's a species that doesn't get large at all. So they're going to grow, but they're going to stay a manageable size, unlike the sliders that we see that end up being dumped out in the wild. Now, the one negative is that this is a species that is very cold hardy, very hardy in general, and that means that they are something that could become invasive somewhere. So it's very important that all of us, me, you, and everyone that knows and cares about turtles is educating people about not releasing their pet turtles into the wild. That is not something we want to see. But outside of that, this is a great thing to see and something that I wish we could see in the United States, because ultimately people aren't going to have good experiences and large turtles are going to be dumped into our natural spaces. Look at these cuties. This is a toad-headed turtle. Wow, what a cool little guy. His face is, he just looks really curious. Maybe I'm anthropomorphizing, but he looks like a curious little dude. He looks like a happy little dude. I hope he is. In terms of body condition score, he looks happy too. But this isn't a species you see for sale very often, especially not in pet stores. Cool to see one. Now, obviously, you understand why they get their name, the toad-headed turtle, because they certainly have a unique shaped head. And maybe with a little bit of imagination, it does resemble a toad. But not many people work with these, not many people breed these, and it's a group of turtles that really could benefit from some champions, I think, just to educate about them and potentially even to breed them in captivity. But yeah, nice to see a small one like this. Doesn't look like it was taken from the wild. Here's the European pond turtle, a type of turtle, a genus, or I should say a species that has a whole bunch of subspecies in it, and that's popularly kept in different parts of Europe. A little less popular in America, although we certainly have had our share of imports over the years. This is a species that I love, that I keep, and that I bred in captivity before. And they're just wonderful, but they can be a little bit difficult in captivity. They're not the best swimmers. A lot of the animals that we've seen over the years are wild caught imports, but there are actually some captive bred ones. So keep your eye out if this is something to be interested in. And, you know, this is one of those species where all those subspecies are really difficult to differentiate from morphology, meaning their outward appearance, their phenotype, the color and the markings and that sort of thing. So, you know, several turtle experts here looking at these and not really being sure exactly what subspecies this is, but they are European pond turtles nonetheless, and it's always a joy to see these guys. So I'm here in the space that I have just named Turtle Corner. There's all sorts of turtles here, and it's really interesting to see because pet stores don't normally have a ton of turtles. You can tell that this store has been influenced greatly by our friend who runs this place, helps run this place, and is in charge of a lot of this here, Dylan. And Dylan gave me permission to go into the pond earlier, and also, you know, is a turtle person. He's one of us. So lots of influence here in this kind of turtle corner, and it's incredible to see. There's a lot of species here that you don't expect to see. There's also baby turtles that you don't expect to see. And one turtle that I know really, really well is one that they don't expect to see here, and that's the diamondback terrapin. That's a species that obviously can't be sold in the US, generally speaking, at pet stores, with some exceptions to areas where it's not native. And it's not a species you see here in the UK for sale. So that's cool. This is kind of a specialty shop. In addition to being this huge place that's the size of a Walmart and has everything under the sun, including sturgeon, we have these turtles that kind of represent a wide array of the different species that you might expect and not expect to find. This place is awesome. No.
Oh, yeah.
Out of your mouth?
Yeah. Between my lips.
You won't do it again. I dare you. I'm here with Felicity, my new hero, and she's going to show me a little trick here. What? No. Oh my gosh! Yeah, so I've been told now the way to do this is you have to put the cricket butt in your mouth. So I'm going to try this. Cricket butt. So unfortunately, this friend didn't want to eat the cricket, probably because of my mustache, that's what I'm thinking. Instead, he wanted to come up, his tail's in my mouth. Instead, he wanted to come up and make friends in a different way. He probably likes my glasses. I've been to a lot of pet stores in my life, a lot, and I've always loved them. I've always been drawn to them. This place is unlike anything I've ever been to before. It's huge, and they do things the right way, and they communicate with people and educate people. And just when you think you saw everything here, you turn the corner and you're in a new greenhouse or a new outdoor expansive area with all sorts of awesome things to create your outdoor pond, your outdoor habitat, water garden, that sort of thing. Or you turn the corner and there's a huge pond that acts as a haven for hundreds of slider turtles that have been outlawed for decades in this country. This was incredible to see. Swallow Aquatics, if you're ever in the UK, be sure to check it out. This place was incredible. Thank you to everyone involved, our friend Dylan who made this possible, and Eleanor, and everyone who made this possible. I can't even express my thanks enough. This was awesome. Thanks for tuning in.
Hit subscribe, join the crew. jusTURTLES, there's always something new.
It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets. I got a real pretty, pretty little thing that's waiting for me. Oh, hey, I thought I heard someone back here. Wait a minute. If you're here, then that means you just watched that video all the way till the end, which is pretty amazing considering our videos tend to be a little bit long and I'm also long-winded. So thank you. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for making the world a better place for turtles and tortoises, because it really means a lot. Oh, that was weird. Anyway, since you watched this long, if you haven't already subscribed, you should consider doing so via this link here in the corner of the screen. Also, if you like this video, I know you'll love our other videos, which you can access here in the other corner of the screen. Like the drip that you saw during the video? I know you did. And yes, I know I'm old. You can access that via this QR code here. And lastly, my Amazon author page, because I am a turtle author. I've written several books about turtles. You can access via this QR code.